Okay, now we're going to look at the muscles of the arm and the leg. With the arm, you have the deltoid, which is your shoulder muscle. Putting your thumb up, you have the biceps brachii on this side, and on this side you would have the triceps brachii. Then we have a number of extensors and flexors in the forearm. Now your extensors, if you take your wrist in, your flexors, if you bend your wrist in, when you flex your wrist, which means to bend it, your flexors are all going to be found on this side of your arm. Your extensors are all going to be found on this side of your arm, the posterior side. We also need to remember the names of the bones. The radius is over here on the side of the thumb, okay, and the ulna will run on the other side because they're going to be named after those two parts. So when you look at this, we hold the arm down here, we're going to have these are your flexors. We're going to have a flexor that runs down here to the digits, okay? This is flexor digitorum. And then we are going to have one that runs along the side of the ulna and one along the side of the radius. You are only responsible for the one that runs by the ulna. This is called the flexor carpi ulnaris. It's telling you it's going down to the carpals, the wrist bones. Flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor digitorum. And this is a superficial muscle, so we throw the word superficialis into that. The extensors are on the back side. Again, you got to remember the names of the bones. This one that runs along the side of the radius is the extensor carpi radialis, and it's a very long one, so we throw in the word longus. Extensor carpi radialis longus. The one that runs in the middle, extensor digitorum, goes to the digit. You can see it spreading out. And then over here on the side where the ulna is, we have the extensor carpi ulnaris. So your extensors are on the back, your flexors are on the front. They're named after the bones. Then with the leg, the muscles of the leg. Okay? This is your leg. We're going to start at the top here. We have what you used to call your quadriceps, but your quadriceps is made up of 4 muscles. With your quadriceps, they are going to have the rectus femoris, which runs right in the front, straight down. Okay? And then we have 3 vastus. We have vastus medialis, vastus lateralis on the outside, and your vastus intermedius is underneath the rectus femoris. So if we pulled it out, you would see that. That's one of the 2 deep muscles. Okay. Also on the leg, this muscle that crosses over, starts on the hip side, goes over to the inside of the knee, is called the sartorius. And then you have a muscle that runs right down the middle of your groin, the named gracilis. Gracilis and groin both start with GR. That will help you remember that one. On the outside, we have this muscle that runs down here into this band of white tissue called the tensor fascia latae. Okay, that it runs into what's called the IT band. Rotating to the posterior side, here's our gluteus maximus, which we can see on the leg muscle. And then we have what were called your hamstrings. We have 2 muscles of the hamstrings you need to know. The one that is more lateral is the biceps femoris, and the one that is more medial is the semitendinosus. Moving down to the lower leg, your calf is your gastrocnemius, and underneath the calf muscle is the small calf muscle. It's the second of the deep muscles, called the soleus. So I could take it apart and identify the soleus. Then rotating to the anterior portion. This is your tibia bone. This muscle that's right in front of the tibia is called tibialis anterior. Then we move to the next muscle. It is one of the extensors. It's going down to the digits. So this is extensor digitorum longus. And then we go to the side, which is on top of the fibia, and this is the fibularis longus. Okay. So you've got the different muscles of the foot.